Sir?
Yes.
This is Mr. Robinson once again.
Yes, Ronnie.
I'd like to ask you something, and believe me, we've talked for 2.5 days now. This is the first time any of us, I'm going to take a liberty that I have not taken before.
Yes, sir.
Fred, according to newspapers, has killed 40 to 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those murders has he ever been convicted?
I don't think he's been convicted of any of them.
You don't think he's been convicted of any of them?
Well, right offhand, I don't know of any.
Would you say that the newspapers are convicting him of them then?
Well, I think it's beside the point at this point.
Well, sir, what I'm getting at is that, I mean, he is either a murderer or he isn't. And how newspapers can speak of 40 to 50 murders and there has never been a conviction obtained on any one of these, that sounds, quite contradictory in my thinking there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all I'm saying is this: we're talking about credibility now.
Mm-hmm.
And if the man has given his word, and I mean, in other words, what I'm talking about is this, sir. I happen to be a student of criminology. I'm very near my doctorate in criminology, as a matter of fact. And in criminology, we know for a fact that there is a very high degree of what is called victim-precipitated homicide, which I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. This is where the victim himself causes the murder.
I'm sure that none of you people are going to be guilty of that up there.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that having listened to, seen, heard, talked with Fred for a long time, I could imagine that if he has murdered outside, that in many cases it was, I would not call it justifiable, but it was in fact brought on by the person who was killed.
In other words, he's a nice guy.
That's not what I said.
All right, sir. Let me talk to Fred again, please.
Well, no.
Hey.
Yes.
Thank you very much for talking with me.
No, it's made my pleasure.
Look, if I were in your place, I wouldn't expect to get out of this thing alive. I really wouldn't.
You what?
I really wouldn't expect to get out of this thing alive if I were in your place.
Well, let's put it this way. That's the reason you're not in my place.
I suppose so.
Uh-huh. Like me, for myself, if I was a newspaper man or a television man or a radio man or anything like that, I probably think that I would die of hunger because I wouldn't make it.
Look, the conversation we've had with you and Mrs. Fleming and with Mr. Robinson, this is going to be on radio, I guess, in 30 minutes in San Antonio. Is there something you'd like to say to the people of San Antonio? You have their ear now.
Well, not really.
It's your hometown.
I know it is,
and
but
they and everybody in the world are hanging on to every word that you say. You have more power at this moment than any man in this part of the world.
Well, I'm just waiting on what Mr. Estelle or Mr. Briscoe decide, and if they decide like prudent men, everything will come out all right.
Everyone believes that you're going to take the lives of these hostages one by one with a pistol unless you're given freedom. You're the most powerful man in this part of the world at this time. Now, if you're forced to that, are you going to be able to live with it on your conscience and go to hereafter with having done that?
Well, like I said, I'm an atheist, so, that wouldn't bother me. But let me put it this way. If I had been sentenced to die in the electric chair, the one that would pull the switch, I don't believe that he would have it on his conscience, because somebody else had made the decision, not him.
You know, everything, and I've done a good deal of reading about you in the past 4 days, and I think every reporter covering the story has, but there's nothing in all that we've heard about you that shows that you've ever taken an innocent's life, that you've ever executed or hurt anybody who wasn't your enemy and having done something to you that really offended you, that deprived you of something.
Now, Mr.
Yeah,
Sinclair, wait a minute, Mr. Sinclair. Let's go back on what you just said. That everything you've read or everything that has been said about me has said that? What you just said?
Yes, everything I've heard
No.
shows that you're an honorable man.
No, wait just a minute. It's just the opposite. They said I've killed people. I just killed people. They haven't said that they were my enemies. Don't don't try and brainwash me, because there were people that got killed that I was supposed to have killed. They were like brothers of mine.
But it was for a reason.
For a reason I didn't kill them. I told you already. Get off the line.